What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Can-Am Connection. We are the hosts, Tim Talmadge, Nathan Williamson, and myself. Ryan SB is still on assignment. And you know what? This will be the last Can-Am Connection segment for 2025 as we go to our year in review, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And after, after what we talked about last night and early this morning, and we'll catch you up, Tim, on this. I got a feeling that some of the ugly and the bad might outweigh the good in this episode. Dare I say soapbox, hand soapbox, or whatever. So this year.
Better go grab my coffee.
Let's talk about some of the good things that took place 2025. What do you think?
I mean, we saw some amazing arm wrestling throughout the year.
Yes. I agree on that, and the fact that
I mean, we also saw growth in the sport as well, not only from a super match perspective. We saw tournaments growing, not only here in the States but internationally as well.
Right.
I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, there's always going to be some drama and infighting between people, organizations, however you want to say it, but I don't think that. I mean, we saw, like, for me, I saw a dream. I mean, I got to be on stage for a dream match this year. Tim was on stage for it as well.
Yeah, you lucky bastards.
Oh.
But you know what?
You know what match I'm referring to, Tim?
Giannis?
Giannis and Mindy.
Yeah.
A match that wasn't that supposed to happen last year?
I don't remember exactly when it was supposed to happen, but
it was supposed to happen in the last couple of years, but Giannis was dealing with injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that was awesome because it was like, oh, finally we get to see this match because you knew that these guys were on some kind of collision course, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was only a matter of time, but when we got it, it was like, okay, when it was first announced, it was like, oh, sweet. Then all of a sudden, hey guys, injuries happen, and sometimes you got to postpone that. But when Arlington came around and we finally saw, I was like, oh, finally, because I can't say enough, and you guys probably agree with me when I say this. You're talking about two chess players in the sport of arm wrestling, where it's like, man, you don't know who to pick, but whoever you did pick, you can't go wrong. Even if you pick the wrong person, you still got it right because these guys are like the cream of the crop when it comes to, when I say mind game, I don't mean like mind game. I mean like they're so smart and tactical in their ability that it's mind blowing. Y'all agree?
Yeah. I mean, you said it right with chess players, right? They say chess, you need to be thinking 5-6 moves ahead. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
They're putting something here, so you go there, and so on and so forth. But like, yeah, I mean, for me, the year has been really good. There's a lot of positives for the year. Obviously, there's negatives. I think we're going to be diving into here shortly. But I mean, what can you do, right? You take the good with the bad. You're either glass half full or glass half empty, and I enjoy being a glass half full person. So
yeah, but the facts are the facts. I mean, we can't ignore that. We finally got a chance to see, Jerry versus, Jablonski, and it's like, the whispers were behind the doors, like, what would happen if these guys both flop pressers? What would happen if that match ever, came about? And
it was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that was one-sided. And I know sometimes when you get to these big events and you put stuff on paper, they sound good, right? But when you actually see them on the stage, it's like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea or whatever the case may be. Tim, can you give us an example where, things sound good on paper, but then they don't play out as such?
I mean, I think we kind of seen it a couple times this year. What was a big one? You put me on the spot. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
You got a big one?
Looks good on paper, but then kind of falls flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
I tell you what, I felt like I got kicked in the stomach when I saw John versus Yoshi. I felt like my hero just like crumbled in front of me. I
Yeah,
can't
that
tell
was
you
pretty
that,
brutal.
you know, that right there just made me want to cry because it was like, you know, at that point leading up to it, it was John's last match, wasn't it?
Well, we'll stay on the topic of Mindy. Mindy and Ustinov looked great on paper,
Yeah.
like looked phenomenal on paper, but like there was an astronomical difference between those two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it looked great. Or even Vitaly versus Jerry. That's a great one. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is Vitaly's kryptonite. What Jerry's gonna just go right into that press. Vitaly's gonna have nothing for it." And it was
Right.
arguably, I mean, Vitaly beat him easier than Levon did, arguably.
Yes, and it was just like going, what did we just see here? And I really felt bad for Jerry because now, you know, a lot of us held him up on this high pedestal, and then all of a sudden he's lost his last 3 matches. Now, with that being said, everybody has to realize we're talking about the elite of the elite, right? Or as Bob Brown would say, the cream of the crop, where even if Jerry is on a 3-match losing streak, it doesn't mean he's weak or he's nobody. He just ran into some buzzsaws. Let's be real. I mean,
100%.
when you face Levon and you face, you know, Vitaly, now you went Jablonski, it's like, it ain't like these guys are walks in the park though either. So I think we did learn, and I think you guys can agree, and everybody in the chat can agree when I say styles make matches, and 2, if you're going to be in some kind of super match, you damn well better have a plan B and maybe a plan C. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, styles for sure makes matches, but, you know, good people that know about watching matches and styles and everything will make some damn good matches. So it's not just the people and their styles, it's who's watching them. Like if Jody's picking matches, you know, and you're studying this, people, if you know how to study a match, we went over this a couple of weeks ago. If you know how to study a match, you can pick a match that everybody's going to go, what the fuck? And then it ends up being a banger of a match because you're able to study matches and what people do. And that's what makes good matches.
Well, we can use Paul Lynn, for example, right? Like Paul Lynn, everybody thought Paul Lynn was just going to dog walk Bogdan. And Tim and I were on the same page. We're like, it ain't going to happen. Like, you know, on paper, that match looked like it was going to be a blowout. Yeah, it was for Bogdan.
Yeah, I mean, he really ideally that people didn't know, like the way that Paul Lynn pulls, he pulls right into Bogdan's sweet spot, even though it's Paul's going to his sweet spot. He's throwing his hand so far around Bogdan that Bogdan just felt comfortable the whole time. And
well, it shows how non-one-dimensional. Everybody thinks Bogdan is just pure press. But if you watch the first 2 starts in that match went this way and stretched Paul's bicep out.
Well, if you watch the last one, people think he pressed. Go watch it again. He hooked him. It was a fast hook. That's all it was. It wasn't no press.
I will say this though. The one thing I will, on the topic of good, now that at least in North America, I'm pretty sure it happens in other countries, but when East vs. West comes here to the States, there is a EBW tournament the night before. And I think now if you implement that as a regular thing now, it gives people some hope, maybe some opportunity. And we talked about this last week, you know, where, you know what, this might be a good thing. I think by them doing that, it's awesome. I really do. I think it gives people, okay, well, you know what, maybe that might be the gateway if people want to, you know, go that route, or if people want to say, you know what, I just want to compete against some of the best to see where I stand. I think it's a good thing, and I hope they continue that because I think that was an awesome move on their part. What do you think?
I 100% agree. I think, you know, taking 2 people from the tournament and putting them in, you know, on the prelim match is a good thing moving forward. Tim?
100% agree. I think they're finding a thing that works. I think that we're still going to see some more tweaks with it. Maybe we'll see it in Vienna or hear about it. Maybe we'll see it on the next one. If the next one's either here or Germany.
It's Germany.
They're starting it, right? Which is that's all we wanted. This is all that a lot of people have been saying. We just want a fighting chance. This is the first start to a fighting chance. Now let them work out their kinks on how they want to do it. If they want to hand select people, just say we're hand selecting people. If they want to say we're taking the 85 kg and the 105 kg today, and that's who we're taking, then let them do what they're going to do. They're going to work out the kinks. They're going to find what works best, and just know that we're getting a fighting chance. So I think we should fucking show up and blow out, have 1,000+ entries.
I agree. I mean, it definitely gives people, like, people always had it. I'm going to use the word excuses for not going to events.
Yeah.
This is a big reason to show up. Like, if you know you show up and you got even if it's 1%, right? 1% still a chance of being there and getting your opportunity. Why aren't you going to take that 1%? Especially if you know 4 months in advance when the event's going to be, where the event's going to be, then you can prep for it.
And listen, like, for these events, knowing, okay, you're say I'm going into it, I'm like, I ain't stand a chance to even take top 5. Why would I pull today? Well, just go into the mindset like those fuckers could have to pull each other, and you could go slitting right into the fucking finals. Yeah, like, you don't know. Like,
can I piggyback on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the reason why I'm going to agree with you on that one, Tim, because for those same people that sit there and say, well, this person's in there, that person's in there, I don't have a chance. Do they forget that those guys also got to pull each other at some point?
Yeah. It's also a random draw tournament.
Right. So I like to use you two as my lifeline because you guys have been to the EVW tournament. You know, you guys competed there. You guys have been corner people. So I use you guys as my lifeline when it comes to EVW.
Can I say something? Can I say something really quick? So this was actually just posted 9 minutes ago. On the EVW Facebook page. It says East vs. West Challenger Cup. This is not just another tournament. This is your opportunity to be seen, selected, and remember. Official East vs. West scouts will be present, closely watching every table to identify future stars and next generation talent. Every puller counts. Every match matters. So one final, this says right down here as you go through, it says one final match from the tournament will be selected to compete on the main event on the main stage at East vs. West 21 as an official EVW 22 prelim match. And this is for the event in Austria. So
there you go. It's easier for the athlete to do their job as opposed to somebody like Robert Baxter and the powers that be to do their job. What I mean by that is that us athletes, all we got to do is 2 things: show up, win. I mean, that's for every tournament, right? Just show up and win. That's the easy part. Those guys, Baxter and the crew, they got a difficult job because now they got to select who do we go with. I think that's more of a difficult task than us just trying to win our class. I think, in my opinion, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and again, with going back to what I was saying, with not having the mindset of like, oh my gosh, these 10 people are in my class. Like, who gives a shit? It's an opportunity for you to, the weight classes are there to where you probably shouldn't have to cut. If you're a 98 guy, you're probably pulling 209s. If you're a 220 guy, you could go, you're probably pulling 231s without cutting. So look at it this way.
The only exception is if you're a 80 kilo guy, you're going to have to cut that 3 kilos to 77 or pull 85.
And most of them are giving you about a kilo clearance. So really about 2 kilos.
Yeah.
So look at it this way. Depending on where it's at, I'll just say Dallas, for example, because that might be where the next one is in America. Look at it this way. Say, in June, it's nice and warm in Dallas. Plan a fucking trip out of it.
Too warm.
And just don't take the mindset of, I'm not going to travel this way, spend the money, get my ass kicked. No, have a trip out of it. Eat some fucking good food because you're not going to have to cut weight. You're going to watch a badass super match event, and you're gonna be able to after pull with all these elite guys. And then even if you go 0-2, you're still going to have 4 or 5 things that are going to outweigh that one when you went 0-2. So who gives a shit? Make fun of it. There's so much. Like, if you've never been to an East versus West, there's so much to do, even if you're not involved. There's so much you can do between hanging out. Like, Ghost, I'm going to use a perfect example. If you were in Atlantic City, the only thing you had to do to have a good time was sit in the lobby every day. because
no
every
kidding.
athlete at any given time, we're down there for a couple hours at a time, hanging out with people, pulling them a little bit on the table, just right there, just hanging out, just being a normal person.
It's a meet and
There's so
greet.
much you can do
Yeah. How many times were we at that bar in the hotel lobby, Tim? Pretty much
every night.
nightly.
Every night, it turned into a
Uh,
nightly thing where everybody knew to meet up at the same spot, and everybody just bullshitted about old times, new times, just had fun. And
Let's
it's one of those things where if you're a newbie or whatever, you've been in the sport a while, and you just walked up to Georgie and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" "Not much. How you doing, man? Hey, my name is Georgie. What up?" And just have a conversation.
That's what it's all about. I think people forgot that.
Yeah, the night after the event, here's a great example. In that bar itself, I mean, Devin was dying.
Yeah.
But you had Georgie, you had Prokopchik, you had Bogdan, you had Jocelyn was there, Vicky was there, Ayane
Mindy.
stopped by for a bit, Mindy was there, George. Like there was like 9 or 10 of the athletes that were on the card inside that little bitty bar right there in the hotel lobby, hanging
Just
out.
hanging out.
And it's because they're not in their, pulling element. They are real open to like, hey, can I ask you a question? Can I ask them for some advice? I'm sure any one of those athletes, if you pull them aside and ask for advice, they will be able to listen and answer your question. I think a lot of people kind of forget that aspect also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was honestly like, yeah, they did something different with this one where the athletes stayed after the event, did the after pool. Tim, you
Right.
can attest to that too. Like this time it wasn't an optional thing,
Mhm.
which was cool. So a lot of people got to jump on the table with people, which was cool. But honestly, for me, what kind of, like I said, what trumped that was the fact that you could, like Tim said, you didn't have to, you could just chill in the lobby. Somebody's
Mhm.
going to be walking through and you can have a conversation and
Yeah.
a beer if that's your thing, or a milkshake with Mindy. She's never going to turn one of those down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of great opportunities because everybody was right there in the hotel and the casino.
There's just, like I
So
said, there's so much to do. Don't base it on I'm gonna go 0-2. That's all I'm saying. Like get that out of your fucking mindset in 2026 and just
Yes.
come out and show support to the people that are still trying to keep this little thing we call arm wrestling alive and doing it to where these people get to come to us in America. And it's not, like I said, they pick hubs to where pretty much around the United States and North America, it's not expensive to get to if you book it in advance. And
yeah.
it's really not.
I mean, now I know there's talk. I mean, I know the North American date hasn't been set yet or the location. I know there's also talks of Vegas. So
right.
anybody you can fly to Vegas for $100 round trip most places.
There you
I'm
go.
telling you what, if they have it in Vegas, you're not going to want to miss it. You're not.
And on that note, when Tim said, make the sport about arm wrestling again, we're going to go ahead and pivot, guys, because I got a feeling.
Yes. Will you highlight what Matt Oliver said?
Yes. That's the beauty of the arm wrestling community. That little bar after EBW in Atlantic City was amazing. So many arm wrestlers, convoy, and everyone helping everyone. That was what it's all about right there. Because what we're about to talk about, whatever happened this year, the bad and the ugly, and depending on what we talk about, it's going to probably be one and the same. We hope that doesn't happen in 2026. So I'm going to leave that up there for a second while we go into this, pivot into these next topics. So,
hey, before you go any further, I'm sorry. Highlight Clifton Erickson's comment above Matt Oliver.
What happened? What did he say?
About his shy.
No, up.
The shy one.
Listen, if you're shy, come find one of us. We will help you talk to these people. Come find somebody that you know in the sport and say, hey, man, I've always wanted to say hi to Mindy. Man, can you introduce me? Not a problem.
Tim, we're pretty much at every North American one.
We're going to be at every one. So listen, if there's anything that you want to talk to them and ask them a question, just let us know. We'll help you out. And there's plenty of other people besides us that will help you out. There's so many people that will help you out. Just show up. We'll help you.
But if you do see Tim or I there, which the likelihood is extremely high, just seek us out. Be like, hey, Can you do me a favor? Yeah, no worries. You know what I mean?
Oh, what a dumbass! Like you got us all geeked out like that, and
I'm trying to
because
help you
everybody
out.
was like going,
We
But
try to
there
be
is people that are
nice.
shy. There is people that are shy. Trust me,
Yeah.
we've seen it. And listen, we'll pull people to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Just walk in.
see, everyone's agreeing. You know, it's all about one common goal, I should say. So, that's what it comes down to. So,
One
but
common girl.
yeah. There's my sister Tamara. What's up?
I was gonna
Talk to her
say,
this morning.
Tamara, I saw your post last night. I'm excited
That's what
to see you back.
we're going into that, I'm sure, in
all
just
right.
a moment.
Shit.
Let's pivot now. All right,
Yeah.
let's pivot because some conversations took place last night. Early this morning, I had to wash my face and be like, what the hell? So, who wants to kick this thing off? Tim, once we get going, you'll understand and you'll chime right in there.
So let me just preface with this. Like promoters, athletes as well. Like responsibility does fall on your shoulders as a promoter. Tim, you know this for sure, and I've gone through this too with doing super matches. It is also our responsibility to make sure who we are inviting is not on a not in good standing list or a sanction list. That is your job as a promoter. Well, it's because of the round robin in Canada.
All right.
So
let's go.
So promoters, it's not hard to get a hold. If you're in Canada, it's Joey Costello. If you're in the States, it's Simon Barachoa or Barachoa. Reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do I need to do to make sure that A, I'm covered, and B, that there's nothing that can possibly go wrong with the athletes that I'm inviting? Everybody has to take a little bit of responsibility in this to make sure that we are all doing our due diligence. And I know, Tim, you've been through it. I've been through it. Like, it doesn't take a lot of effort, guys. It's very minimal effort to make sure that your bases are covered.
I'm going to go right behind you.
Go ahead.
People have to understand this. There's a couple ways to look at this in America, North America. They've always looked at this as a blame game, right? Yeah, I'll speak for myself. I'll go ahead and I'll throw my promotion on a limb here. I go to Worlds. I pick the path. Me, not any organization. I pick the path. Nobody can pick a path for you. You're the only one that can pick a path for yourself. And so the path that I picked is WAF. That's for my personal reasons and nobody else's. Just like if I played in the NFL, I couldn't play in the CFL, right? Because I'm in the NFL. That's all it is. And it's not, it's nothing else. And so there's certain places, me being in the NFL, that I can't go to that CFL. And that's my choice. Right. Now, the only time you have to understand that the only time it comes into effect is if it's an intentionally international tournament. And what that means is they're inviting somebody from overseas, out of the country to the event, and it turns into that. Now, it's just because a organization picked to follow that, and that's their own reasoning. We don't have to agree with it because guess what? It's not our organization. But if we want to pull in that organization, we have to follow that organization's rules. Not that we agree, it is what it is, but you still have a choice to go to that organization or not. It's really, nobody's telling you you can't or you can. It's your choice at the end of the day. And if you do a super match on a super match card and somebody is not eligible to go to that or A organization because they chose to go to B organization, that's just what it is.
Yeah. And there's possible sanctions that can be bestowed upon you.
Yeah. And this is one of the things that bothers me is when, and I've had this accused of me, and I'll just bring it out right now. It is that if I've done it with Jody, I'll put Jody on the spot. Hey, Jody, me and Jody are having a great conversation. He goes, I'm going to go here. And I'm like, oh, nice. And then I was like, hey, just remember, if you go to A, remember, if you wanted to go to B later, you can't. That's not somebody telling them, don't go to that event. You don't do that. Like, let's get away with that. It's not what it is. There was an event earlier last year where I got accused of doing that. And it wasn't. It was me, someone reaching out to me, asking me about it because I was reffing, say, A organization at the time. And I said, remember, you were just at A organization on that card, East versus West. You might not get invited back if you go to B. And they're like, do you really think so? I'm like, I would ask A organization. That's not me telling you not to go to that event. That's not what it is. That's me looking out for who finally made the big stage in his opinion. That's the biggest stage and wanting to keep doing that big stage, but still wants to pull this other event because it's cool. There's money. I get it. But they just didn't know the rules.
Right.
So that's not somebody telling them not to show up to an event. That's just trying to give them information to go figure it out for themselves, to make sure that they're in the clear so they can still follow what they call their dream in the small sport of arm wrestling.
And then I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit, Tim, too. So, like if you choose to go to IFA or WAF, right? Now, you cannot, we'll use this. So if you attend WAF, you cannot attend, and this is for people in the United States, you cannot attend IFA Nationals anymore after that, or an event that has IFA on the name of the tournament. Any other tournament, it does not matter. You're fine. And I think
say that again.
I said, so like we go to WAF, right?
Yeah.
We go to WAF Worlds. We cannot go to IFA Nationals anymore or any tournament that has IFA in that on the banner.
Yeah, you can.
We can.
We're allowed to go to IFA Nationals in America. We're just not allowed to go to IFA Worlds. Now, if IFA Nationals has an international invite person come, then we're not. But if
it does this year.
It does this year. But in the past, we were still allowed to go.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it wasn't intentionally international.
Yes.
But now it is.
But like other events that have happened, like the Vegas event had international people there. If you were to go to it as a WAF athlete, you could be sanctioned. But any other tournament, you go to Pete's Pest Control down the street where there's 100 people, you're fine. Like that has no bearing on that. Like zero.
Yeah. These are not our rules. But if you want to go to organization B, then go. It's not our rules.
The thing, man. And this is where my soapbox might get a little soapy and it might get a little dicey because I've been known to do that. I'm not real happy how both organizations run their stuff right now. I'm really not. I can say things about IFA I'm not privy to, I'm not happy with. Same thing for WAF. I'm not happy with. But what I can say is that, without mentioning names, but you'll probably figure it out anyway, some of the powers that be in both federations, we all know don't get along. But because it is split, right? But think about it. If SB was on here, you'll have two guys who are IFA and then Nathan and Tim who are WAF, and we get along just fine. And I think, like when Tim goes to Worlds, hey, Tim, you know what? Let us know how you did, man. Congratulations. If Nathan goes there, I'd be the same thing. Just in return, if I go to IFA Worlds, they'd be like, hey, man, let me know how you did and stuff, that kind of thing. I think this split has divided all the athletes to where you got to pick a side and then you're fucking finger pointing. And this is where I'm about to get rated R real quick. It pisses me off when, and I just got done talking to my sister in arm wrestling, where I told her, I said, look, you know what? What's going to be the downfall of this sport? And I hope it doesn't happen, because you start to see cracks in the armor. You hate it when greed, ego, and money start being the top thing in their sport, is where it starts to ruin it, where I've seen a lot of people jump off the sport because of all that stuff, right? Look, I've always said this.
Jody, can I stop you? I'm sorry.
Please do.
Can you highlight Courtney's comment? Because
she had a bunch of which one?
This is the last one. Because this is
where hopefully
the last one. Hopefully it changes soon.
One more day. Okay.
Now listen, Courtney. this is where it's misconstrued. There are people that are paid, and it's not by that organization, but it's by that federation that follows that organization. So what people don't understand, that North America and South America are some of the only countries that are not paid. Everybody else pretty much is. And it's because they follow their federation, and their federation is by A. And so they are paid. And that's where a lot of these things come from overseas that we have to follow if we want to choose to go to that organization, say WAF, right? That's where the difference is. We may not be paid, or Canada, Mexico, Brazil, so on, but Latvia, France, Italy,
Kazakhstan,
Sweden, you name it, they are paid. And so that's just a little bit of the difference, where a lot of people were like, why can't we go do this event? Well, you can. It's a choice. But just know that it's like everything in life. Choices, you follow that path on your choice. But there are, just to shorten it up, there are people that are paid from their government to go to set organization.
Yeah, and they're paid really good too.
Yeah.
Can someone answer Tamara's question? Let me find it, Tamara.
Why are the?
It's not a ban. It's not a ban. It's just not eligible. So if it's, and it's not just IFA refs. What I meant by that, if it's referring to my conversation, it is if a ref who is internationally invited to come to our country, and then they ref that organization.
Yeah,
that turns into it doesn't matter if it's ref, brackets, pullers, you name it. It's if somebody is internationally invited and they're part of, say, a B organization, that makes that event ineligible.
It also comes down to if you are, let's use this example too, Tim. I think you'll agree with me. If you are a referee in the States or Canada and you have been to a Worlds, even though you didn't certify as a ref there, but you're certified in your country, and you ref an event where it's an intentionally international, granted you are not a suspended ref, but you're a suspended athlete, that will still affect things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If a local Canadian ref who's in set B organization gets invited to the USA to ref in an event, that event is now a intentionally international ref event because he was invited, or they were invited, and that bet for organization A is now ineligible for people if they choose to go to A.
Yep.
Here, I like to put some a log on this fire, because, and when I say this,
shit.
I don't want people to take this personal, but it's just how I feel, and sometimes that can get me in trouble. Sometimes, I wish. And Cordy talked about change, right? So let's talk about change for a second, and this is for both federations. I hope things change for the good, because right now, as it stands, personally, and you don't have to agree with me, but I'm not real happy how things are going with both federations, right? I'll give you an example. For the WAF side, I hope things change, because some way, somehow, we all know Unified Nationals is the gateway to WAF Worlds from the United States. Cool. I hope they change things, because right now, the Unified Nationals is a fucking joke. Like, they don't promote it as much as they should. They don't promote it as something being important. And you got too many holes in those weight classes where there are some people that went to WAF Worlds, they didn't fucking go to Nationals. Why? I don't think that's fair. I don't think, that they should change that rule, right? Seriously. If you want it to be important like it used to be, then fucking change some things around. Make Unified Nationals important like it should be, okay? Instead of just, okay, here's an open spot, you go in. Fuck that. That's bullshit. Now, on the IFA side, I'm an IFA guy, and I'm saying this out loud. I don't like the attitude of come one, come all. I don't like that. Here's why, okay? If you have a class, let's just say my class, right? And I got 12 people in my class, I can go 2 and out, but guess what? I'm still part of Team USA. No, 1,000 times no. Why? If I don't podium, this coming spring in Dayton, Ohio at Nationals, I'm not going to entertain fucking Worlds. I'm not. Why the fuck, if I can't make the podium or go 2-0 at my own national, I don't deserve to go to Japan for Worlds next fall. I'm a competitor. I want to earn my spot. I don't want to backdoor my way either federation. Doesn't matter which one I decide to choose for. I don't want to backdoor my way in any of it. I really don't. So if I'm an IFA guy, which I am, if I don't take top 3, guess what? My ass ain't going to Tokyo. End of. Right? If I would go to WAF, all right? If I go there and I win my class, but I can't go because they got the select few, bullshit. I call bullshit on that too. That's why it's so fucking stupid to me and corrupt when you got this bullshit going on. And then as me, as old school as I am, and I may be saying dinosaur, but it pisses me off when, you got some people. How many people in that team photo at WAF Worlds for Team USA, how many of them went to fucking Nationals? Probably half of them. I think it's fucked up. All right? Now, on the IFA side, there was a class, Nathan and I fact checked that. There was I think it was like when IFA was in Greece. And
it was a master. It was like a senior grand masters class.
Senior grand masters. For some, that may not mean nothing, but I'm going to tell you what. There were 6 goddamn competitors, right, in that class. 5 of them from the U.S. Give me a fucking break. That's stupid. And I understand IFA's stance where we want everybody to experience Worlds. I get that. But we got to stop this fucking lollipop. Everybody gets an award bullshit. It irritates me, and that's why so many years I've shied away from that because I didn't like the way they were doing things. I really don't like the way they're doing shit. But when I take a step back and go, okay, I just started my 16th year in this fucking sport this month, and I got to look back and go, damn, I don't have a national title to my name. Took 3rd one year. I got to go, damn, I don't have a world title to my name. I took 2nd one year. I do want to right that wrong, meaning that I went to the IFA Worlds in 2021, right? It was the United States. It was in Florida. Now, we all know at that time, we were going through a pandemic. So 85 to 90% of the athletes there were fucking American anyway, which meant that felt more like a national than a world title. So, yes, I took fucking 2nd at Worlds in the Masters division. I got a fucking fat asterisk to me because it was like, well, it was part of the, not a lot of athletes could actually fly out of their country because of the pandemic, and not a lot could actually come to the United States because of the pandemic. Now, fast forward to 2026, we got more countries involved now. We can fly. The pandemic's in the rearview mirror. So I really want to go back and right that wrong. That's just my personal thing. But IFA, stop with the fucking everybody come on, come on. Say, look, either it's top 2 or top 3 and go from there. Make it meaningful. Same thing with the Unified Nationals to go to WAF. Make it meaningful. Promote the shit. Stop this fucking, in our groups, I know that shit goes on. I got friends who are in that fucking group that tell me that. That's bullshit too. If you want to make it, a prestigious thing like it used to be, stop with the fucking separate groups and say, look, hey guys, and the flyer is out there, by the way. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in May, by the way, for Unified Nationals to go to WAF. But promote it over and over again. Get it to where it's more important so everybody can do that. So that way we can build a strong Team USA to go to WAF Worlds in India next fall. Build it to where we can have a strong USA team to go to IFA Worlds in Japan next fall. Oh my God, I'm fucking pissed off right now. My blood pressure's going up because the bullshit irritates the fuck out of me.
Hey, Jody, I just sent you something that you asked for.
Sorry. My bad, everybody. That shit fucking blows my mind.
I agree.
What I was going to say.
There's things that need to be changed.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so.
Brady Jody.
Hold on.
What I was gonna say, I'm not just let you stew on that one for a second. What I was gonna say is what I would like to see, and I don't think it's feasible or possible, is we get rid of IFA nationals and unified nationals, USAF nationals. And personally, I would like to see an IFA world qualifier and a WAF world qualifier. And then we try to do one national that is a true national in the United States, because our nationals truly mean nothing. We don't have a national. It's just another event. Because if we use Canada, for example. Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm just saying we would all love that, but everybody wants money nowadays. Everybody wants everybody.
Oh,
You're not going to get the best that will ever show up unless there's money. Some organization tried doing that to where they were going to give back money, and it's just, and then they had a group of people. Group of people couldn't get along. I think they're still going to do it. I don't know. But it's something like the only way that would ever work would have to be somebody running it that's not within the powers of actually set A and set B.
Well, because what I was going to continue with, Tim, was like if you look at Canadian Nationals mean something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's actually, that's the biggest tournament. It's one of the 3 biggest tournaments in Canada every year, based upon location. It's usually the biggest. But for that, you have to go to your provincial in order to go to your national. So like when you win your national, it means something. Here, if you win a national, it's just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get back to where it meant something. So can I respond to?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We let you stew on it for a second.
A lot of fake world champions. I'd like for you to elaborate that because, that word world champion has been tossed around so many. Okay, there's people I know that won a WL wall hammer, but they consider themselves a world champion. I don't know. You mean to tell me, and we talked about this, we touched base on this last week when Alan Fisher has like 17,000 world championships, right? So,
he's never won a WAF Worlds.
Yeah, but there's no WAF world title, but he has titles in the WWC, World Wrist Wrestling Championships, and that was a thing. Now, that was considered a world championship. Go ask Ingen Terzi, he has one. Go ask Neil Pickup, he competed in one. They actually are a world championship. Now, when that was going on in Petaluma, California, every year in October, guess what? WAF World was still going on also. So I'm just trying to understand fake world champions. What exactly does that mean? I'm just curious. I would love to understand. Look at Tamara. Go ahead, sister. Talk to us. I have one. So you mean to tell me her world championship doesn't mean anything?
He just said what he said.
Oh, okay.
I mean, James Clark, I agree with you too. That state champions, top 2 or 3 should go to nationals.
100% agree. But the problem is
we've been trying to do that for years. But
to piggyback on that, Tim, the problem is not every state holds a nationals. Holds a state tournament. Sorry, not a nationals.
Oregon does it.
Yeah. But you can go to one. There's one within a state over to go to one.
I got more state titles in Washington and Arizona and Nevada that I do my own goddamn state I live in. Go figure that.
Okay, Jody, unleash.
Okay, so yes, the Worlds in Florida had some classes with very little people in it, and the winners say they are world champs for beating 2 people. Here it is. I agree with that. Which is why, my class the Masters had more than a lot. They had like 8 people, whatever. But yes, you're right. But as I said earlier, the Worlds in Florida was during the pandemic. It's a little different now because now more countries are involved. So that's why I want to go down there to IFA Worlds. I got to get through nationals first, place top 3. If I don't, I ain't fucking going. But I want to right that wrong in a sense, Yeah, there are people who pull 1, 2 people. I'm a world champion. Well, guess what? There are people at Unified Nationals, the gateway to WAF Worlds, that go through the same goddamn thing. They beat 1 or 2 people or they go uncontested. Bam, I'm a national champion. Fuck you, okay? Because that ain't nothing to brag about. Seriously. Bullshit. Sorry.
Jody's on one today. See what you did, Frederick?
No, I'm not. No, because
there's a lot of things that we could.
No, I know.
Some of the stuff you said is legit, though. So
here's the problem: there's way too many Chiefs and no Indians in North America.
Too many roosters in the house.
To be a chief, and there's no sanction. What I mean by sanction, there's no rules on who can do what. There really isn't. Yeah. Anybody can actually do whatever they want. They really can. And that's just the biggest problem. You can't do that internationally.
No.
Federations. The government will come shut your shit down. Like that, there's a big difference on what happens around the world and what happens in the United States.
Let's give you
And
guys there's a great example of that, Tim, of what you said about the Federation. Let's use Barbora as an example. This is the best example I can give. Why wasn't it Barbora at WAF Worlds this year? Her Federation. Her Federation didn't allow her to go because she didn't compete at the events they wanted her to compete at. Even when she went to Europeans, they wouldn't allow her to compete. They wouldn't even allow, she went there to ref and they wouldn't even allow her to ref. So if you guys think it's bad here, like in Europe, they'll straight up say, you cannot do that. And if you do, then you're not, it's going to be even worse for you. And now think about it. That is the best female arm wrestler on planet Earth. And she couldn't even compete for her country because of the Federation. There's no sanctioning body in the United States or Canada going, you can't compete for your country because you didn't go to X, Y, or Z.
No,
No.
because even if there was, the other person would just say, "Come over here. We take everybody." So, like I said, it's a participation thing. Like Jody said, there's a way to something, A or B, no matter what. It's just the path that you're going to take and how you approach it. And it's whatever fits you.
And
I have my sayings about set A and set B. I just gave them to myself. And
and my thing is like Tim's never been like, hey, you need to go here or you need to go here. Like, I mean, we've had the conversations, but like, and that's the thing I hate too. And I will say that is like somebody trying to influence somebody else to go somewhere when they've never even done it themselves either. Like somebody that is pro A or pro B, but has never been to A or B. Why are you trying to dictate or persuade anybody into doing something when you've never done it yourself?
Right.
To me, that's a double negative. It makes no sense.
Okay, so I competed at the Women's Masters. What happened if there isn't the numbers? I show up and pulled and won. Oh, she's responding to us.
Yeah, she's going at him.
Okay.
He unleashed the Tamara.
Well, I mean, they both make good points. They both make good points because you only got two jobs, as I said about the EVW tournament. You just show up and win. You can't control who does and does not come. But
100%.
To what Frederick was saying, if you only beat one or two people, I wouldn't brag about that. I know I wouldn't. I mean,
I know people that run around saying they're a world champion. There was nobody in their class.
Right. Yeah. I would keep that to myself. Like, I won, but go ask Kelly Nelson, Tom Nelson's sister. She has like four world titles or national, but only 3 of them count. And I said, why is that? She goes, because the one I won, I didn't compete against anybody. So she even knows.
Yeah.
So woo. All right. I think we're good on that topic. Shit. What was something bad that happened? Well,
we just had a really bad one happen this week. We had LeBron tear a bicep muscle. So now let's put the Vitaly match on hold.
Do you think the way he was training, does that get people to second guess how they train?
I don't think so. You got to understand the amount of weight he's moving.
Right.
I mean, and also understand, Nate probably knows how they train in Georgia, right? So there's 3 sessions. They do weights, they pull for an hour. They do weights, they pull for an hour. They do that 3 different times. So if this was on his last one, how much damage had he done to his body through 4 sessions of other things?
It's kind of like Bulgaria, right?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's kind of like Bulgaria. I don't think people understand how they train. Like, they're on the table twice a day, and it's not easy arm wrestling. They're killing each other twice a day for hours, like 4 to 6 hours for 2 sessions a day. Like, I'm not going to say that's the reason Georgie's bicep tore against Daddy Khan, but it might have been part of the reason Georgie's bicep tore against Daddy Khan. Because you're constantly beating this stuff down. You're not giving your body ample time to recover. Higher risk of injury.
I'm going to do a soapbox.
You got a soapbox, Tim?
Go ahead.
I mean, we're talking about the good, bad, and the ugly, right?
We got to mark this down. December 29th, 2025. Tim's first soapbox.
My first soapbox. This is the end of the year. We're talking about the good stuff. We're talking about the bad stuff. Let's talk about the ugly stuff.
Oh, shit.
Go ahead and the ugly stuff.
Here's my soapbox. Dove, shave butter, Sponsored by Dove Shea Butter Soapbox. Here we go. Go ahead, Tim. I got you. Go ahead. Yes.
Why are
Our
we
new
still
sponsor.
You broke out the fucking dove.
Goddamn right. Let's hit it.
why are we still supporting people who don't pay the fucking athletes and still haven't fucking paid them? Why
Oh,
are
that's a
we
good
still
question.
supporting these promotions and putting on qualifiers for people that owe other people internationally and still in the US thousands of dollars? Thousands of dollars.
You talking about the Arnold or GVW or what?
Let's talk about the Arnolds. They owe people thousands of dollars. Why are we still putting on Arnold qualifiers and supporting this event?
Name.
Oh, okay. Can I speak on that?
Yeah,
I believe,
and maybe it's for their own, maybe because it's Arnold's, it's prestigious, and everybody wants to go there. But how prestigious can that fucking event be from people putting it on that owe people thousands of dollars, and you're supporting that? I don't know. That's just,
I think,
it's
and I could
fucking
be wrong.
mind-boggling.
No, I totally get that. I think, and I could be totally wrong, that if we're talking about Knuckles Up, that was separate from the Arnold. Now, it may be ran underneath the High Five umbrella, but if I'm not mistaken, everybody who won money at the Arnold got paid because
Yeah.
it was separate. It was a separate entity.
But it's the same fucking owner running
Right.
it. Okay, so that's like
Oh,
me going, okay, well, I have Arm Sports Entertainment, but I'm going to run Arizona as Joe Blow Arm Wrestling and just not pay people, but everybody's still going to come to Arm Sports Entertainment. That's stupid. So just because
I
one
agree.
owner has a different fucking name that they're allowed to not pay people thousands of dollars, and then come to you and go, hey, you want to run an Arnold qualifier? Yeah, man, because a lot of people in my area want to go. All right, cool. Give me $1,500. What? What the fuck
Now,
you
see,
mean?
here we're talking about Arnold. See, like, okay, James got paid.
Yeah, everybody got paid at Arnold's. But what about the people
Right.
that didn't get paid thousands of dollars before that event that funded fucking Arnold? So you're welcome. So you
Are
just
you
got
talking about
paid
the,
for everybody else's fucking money.
The pay-per-view. The
Congratulations.
pay-per-view. The pay-per-view, yeah.
Oh, see, I totally missed that
So
one. Okay.
You know how much of a big piece of shit that I would feel, and I'm only speaking for myself. How bad I would feel winning Arnold's and saying, "Give me my money." Oh wait, this is the money to go with one of my best friends because you still owe him. So you're fucking robbing them to pay all these other people at Arnold's. That's fucking cool.
I know. I went to the North versus South in Canada one year. I know exactly what you mean.
Cody, we're
when you're
not
robbing-
talking pennies here. We're talking
Rob-
thousands.
yeah.
No, I get it. I get
We're
it.
talking thousands to people that live internationally that have different currencies that may change their life of what they're owed money.
You're
And
robbing
it's not
Peter to
just
pay
a-
Paul.
There's a lot of people that and then on top of that, after that was all said and done, you're still asking people are still in North America are paying this promotion $1,500, $1,000, $2,000 to run qualifiers for them for people to show up and give them more money and still not pay people.
I get that. I mean, there are a lot of promoters out there who stiff people. I mean, William Blansky, he was a part of that Knuckles Up thing. Jeff Frank is another guy, owed tons of arm wrestlers money and decided I'm gonna just bow out, relocate, and then go MMA. So I mean, yeah, I mean that stuff.
Highlight that comment.
Which one?
The last
Lucky's?
one.
Says Chris got his second job after left, high and dry, and is paying people off. And I think
Okay.
that goes back to what
I'm
Will.
going to speak on this. If
Okay.
he is, great, right? But why hasn't he contacted people that they owe thousands to? Because they haven't received a single fucking phone call in months or a text message, and they've been texting him too. So why is he not reaching out to people that he owes thousands of dollars to?
I just got one word. Name.
Name.
What? Name people?
Oh my God! Remember the Arnold shirt?
Oh, the jersey.
Oh,
the jersey.
Say, I'll fucking name
Okay.
people.
No,
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
There's more. There's
There's
at least
several.
4 that I know of.
Yeah.
That are owed thousands. And one of them is owed not from the last Knuckles Up, the one before that as well. And still showed up to the last one because he's such a nice guy.
That's
And
a
you
stand-up
still-
guy to do that. Because anybody else would be like, I'm not coming if I
to
get paid.
and went, hey, pay for your hotel.
So where do you think the downfall of that? I have an idea, but I don't think I'm correct when I say this. You know, like, here's the deal. I thought once they start expanding, then and you're like, okay, so Knuckles Up won. We thought that was a good thing because now you can go to a high profile tournament with matches and you don't have to leave the country. You know, okay, cool. It's a lot cheaper to go to East Coast than it is to Turkey or Dubai or whatever, right? Okay, cool. And they were paying everybody. I mean, ask SB. He was there. He'll tell you straight up. They paid for your hotel. They paid for your flight. When they got the plane, they greeted you with your hotel room and itinerary. Damn, that right there is how you treat an athlete. Now, as they got more bigger and popular, and like I said, this is where I thought things started going. When you started inviting other people from different countries, that's a chunk of change. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at these athletes. I just want you to hear me out. Then it'll make sense. When you have Cody Merritt come to your event, he's bringing his wife, which means you got to pay his ticket and her ticket. When you bring Gabriella, she's coming, she's bringing her husband. You pay for her ticket and his ticket. I don't know how much it costs to bring Ryan Bowen over, Lachlan Adair over, you know, Ashley Hoyta, Manaringi, way down there. That's a lot. That's a big chunk of change to pay their ticket to come here. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I think once they started doing that is when they started getting in debt.
I think
when you have the first one or two, and maybe things are good, sponsors are good, pay-per-views are good, so you try to go to the next level, but thinking you're going to use that money and you don't have that money, that's where everybody goes wrong. If you don't have the fucking money, don't do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
you
pretty fucking
can't.
simple. Or
you can't.
Or you fucking tell everybody before they even come, hey, you know, this is what your pay is, and you get paid in 30 or 60 days.
There you go.
Yeah.
What Freddie just says.
Yeah.
Now, one person, well, you're not going to hear from William because he just up and left like a little bitch. Yeah. He's up and left. But, you know, and he left Chris holding the bag. But like he said, what I don't like about that, nobody from Knuckles Up, Chris, William, came out and explained or apologized publicly to everyone and to be transparent. Yeah, I do agree. I think that's where Tim's frustration comes from, and a lot of other people's frustration come from. Why sit there and hold something else if you can't even finish, you know, why build another house if you can't finish this house first, basically, what it comes down to.
But here's my thing with Chris, okay? If he was left high and dry by Will, like everybody says, why is he still putting on events then? He's not a promoter. We all know this. He was the back end guy. He wasn't the promoter guy. So if it's an Arnold thing, why are you not just going, hey, I'll just use Corey Miller. Hey, Chris goes to Corey Miller. Listen, man, I have Arnold's. We're still dealing with this last shit. Can you play Arnold's next year? Here's a 1-year contract. You do it. I know you're going to do it well. And then once we have a year to recoup or a year and a half, then I'm going to take it back because it's mine. I've earned it. I got it. And then he can move forward for it. Why is he still running it? Why does he not relinquish it to somebody that is trustworthy and says, you run it for this year. Let us figure out our shit, or me because it got dropped on me. And then when I figure it out, I'll come back. Why is that not happening?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Like, and I understand that, like, when you get with the contract with Arnold, I'm sure it's like multiple years. But my whole take on it is like that you can't rely on pay-per-view sales to cover your ass. And I feel like that's what they were ultimately doing. Like, oh, cool. You know, one was really good. You know, because it's just like anything. The new upstart, everybody wants to see what you're all about, yada, yada, yada. And then, you know, you expand and now your bankroll gets smaller. Your budget's bigger, but in reality, you don't have the bankroll to match your budget. And now you're like, oh crap, what do we do here? And then when Will came out and said that EBW DDoSed his website, so they couldn't do sales and yada, 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 you know, and started making excuses for lack of pay-per-view sales. To me, that was kind of like, I think you're reaching. You know what I mean? Like that to me is like trying to find an angle to cover your ass saying, oh crap, we just don't have the money to pay. And that's not cool to me. I'm in full agreement with Tim. Like, I don't know how anybody can stand behind them and say, yeah, they're like, I'll give it this. if Chris is paying everybody off, and there's the word if there, cool. Way to be a stand-up guy, and I'll
To say
pay off
something.
your debt. Yeah, but I just don't get how anybody can spend $1,500 or $2,000 or $1,000 to run a tournament that gives somebody a chance to go to Arnold's. But I mean, you're essentially, what is Arnold's gaining you? Like, oh, you're paying this person. You're literally paying him a fee so he can pay off athletes that he owes money to.
And he's still not
There's
doing
two
that
lenses
to certain
to
people,
look at that.
right? Because they came out and told some people how much it costs to run Arnold's, whether that's true or not, whether they have sponsors helping them or not. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so where's the money really going to? Is it going to put on another Arnold's, or is it going to pay out back other people? I
100%.
mean, because there's 4 people that I know off a hand that haven't even received a text message after still reaching out through social media, text messages, WhatsApp, you name it, and being ghosted for the last 6 months.
There was the beast mode comment in there too. I mean, that's the same way though, bud. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna say one last thing. If Chris is watching this, whoever's watching this is, don't be surprised if some of those fucking athletes show up at your fucking event, and I'm gonna feel bad for you when they do.
It's two lenses you look through. One,
You
ain't
ain't gonna have an Arnold's and give out thousands of dollars and expect those people not to show up and have their hand out, and you better hope you have their money.
Well, it's a case of two lenses, because if you were not part of the Knuckles Up card and you went to Arnold's and got paid, you're probably going, hey, I got paid, which some people are saying. But I think the argument is, and these people need to understand, if I was on one of the Knuckles Up cards that didn't get paid, and I'm like going, wait, you got paid? How the fuck did you get paid? And I didn't. I was on. I think that's where we're coming from, if I'm not mistaken. You know?
I mean, I'd be pissed too. Like, if I didn't get my money, but you see people going to Arnold's and they're being paid out instantly. Like, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go to another pivot.
Like I said, don't be surprised if some of those athletes that still haven't got paid just want to come to Arnold's.
My blood pressure's about to go up again, boys.
Is that the beast mode one?
No. It starts with the other word that starts with the letter B. Band. God damn it. I'm fucking
what kind of band? Rock band, country band?
It ain't no rock band. It's not rubber band. It's being banned. You are looking at a guy for the first time was banned and blackballed from a fucking federation. Now, I'm going to get deep into this shit. We done talked about all fucking year, and now my blood pressure's about to go up one more time, okay?
I'm about to get some Tylenol.
Somebody fucking explain to me where, and we'll talk WSA, and I know, you know, Tim, you ref there, and I want to make things perfectly clear before I jump down this rabbit hole. I will not tell anybody not to compete at a WSA, which is World Series of Arm Wrestling, ran by Greg Sharp. I am not going to be that guy. I hope anybody that competes there, have fun. If you can win some money, good, do that. I'm not going to be that guy because I was a part of that for 2 years, but in a sense, I got fucking stiffed. Now, here's the deal. Let me set the stage because my sister, Tamara, is like, what the hell did I just walk into? She's been out of the sport for a while, so now I'm going to get you caught up. For those that know, but now you're going to hear from the horse's mouth. Now, there was an event that took place earlier this spring in PA called Winter Blast, one of the biggest tournaments in the country, right? Now, okay. Also, it was a conjunction. Yeah, it takes. I should probably get some ibuprofen. Conjunction with Arm Gods and their Supermatch series. I was a part of. Now, I'm talking with Greg Sharp. You know, up until that point, we're on good terms. I was ready to be one of the captains on the house. So was Jamie Sheldon. It was all laid out. We're ready to roll, right? Then all of a sudden, I get a fucking message from Arm Gods. Hey, we'd love to have you on the card to pull James Beats for the Independence Championship belt. Now, here's the thing. You go talk about opportunities, right? I have an opportunity to go over there and compete. And guess what? They offered to pay my hotel. They offered to pay my airfare. Why the fuck would I turn that down? Now, up until that point, there was no contract that I had with Greg Sharp and the WSA. It was more like an agreement saying, hey, just make sure that at that point it was supposed to be April where we're going to run the house reality show. But some things happened. he says, hey, when he saw the flyer of me versus James Beast from the UK, then all of a sudden it was like, okay, hey, I thought you and I agreed that you weren't going to pull before the house. I said, no, you said you wanted me to stay healthy. Big difference, right? So we go back and forth. I said, okay, so let me ask you this. I got opportunity sitting here. If I proceed with that opportunity, does that mean I'm out of the house? He said, yes. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you in the morning. I talked to some of my closest friends in the sport, told them my situation. Tim, you're one of them, you know, and you told me what you said. I was like, all right, cool. I thought about it, woke up. Me and my wife sat there over coffee the next morning, talked about it. Matter of fact, it was January 22nd. I think that was the last Knuckles Up event. Go figure. So that Saturday, I woke up. I told Greg, I said, hey, man, this is an opportunity I don't want to pass up, right? He goes, hey, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I wish you well. So because I was going to compete at Arm Gods and Winter Blast, he decided because a meme came out that fucking Arm Gods did. Let's get that straight. For some reason, 98 got blamed for it. They had nothing to do with that. I got blamed for it. Had nothing to do with that. That was all Arm Gods.
I was about to say, damn you, Ryan.
But no, he had nothing to do with that. So now all of a sudden, you know, and they were losing people because the final match of that Arm Gods card was Menegas Doskis versus Corey West. Well, Corey West pulled out. We don't know why, only he knows. So we had a sub in Nick Stone. Arm Gods stopped because Greg started banning people. Hey, if anybody attends this event because in his brain thought 98 did that, ban everybody. That included me. So I'm banned, I guess, all year from all WSA events. Fuck you. After what you did for me, fuck you. That's how I feel. Now, what really pissed me off is that if you're going to go say anybody that competes at Arm Gods and Winter Blast were banned, guess what? And I can't be a part of the house, riddle me this. Why the fuck Paul Cruz was a part of that? He had a match at Arm Gods. He participated at Winter Blast, but he can be on the house, but I can't. Make that make sense to me as my blood pressure goes up one last time. Go ahead. Tell me how that makes sense. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Only Greg Sharp can answer that. Give him a call and ask.
And like a bitch, he don't want to say nothing. Matt Conley had a show. He had Don Underwood come on there and say, hey, guys, you're not banned if you don't talk about it. The fuck does that mean? Don doesn't know a goddamn thing about what's going on. Greg should have made that decision. If you're going to ban people, he should come on, just like Chris from Knuckles Up should have came on and addressed the crowd. He didn't do it. Greg Sharp didn't address the crowd, didn't do it. What a fucking coward move. Bullshit. I'm over it now, kind of, but I'm over it now, right? So,
kind of.
But do you see what I'm saying, though? So here I am. I'm banned. I'm blackballed from WSA. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Fuck you guys. I won't promote any goddamn event. So this is where Tim comes in because I know, Tim, you wanted me to come to one of your Arizona events. And I said, okay, I missed Arizona State, but there was another one you had. I'm thinking I'm not coming because if I see a WSA banner, I'm not going. I don't support that no more. And it wasn't against you, Tim. It was more of I'm not going to go to an event that's put on by WSA because of what he did to me. So I want to make this crystal clear. That wasn't because I didn't want to go to your event. It was because there was a logo that said WSA. I will not be a part of that shit. Now, anybody that goes there, have at it. Have fun. I hope you guys compete and have a good time. I'm just not going to be a part of it. That's all I meant to say. But see, so many stories came out of that, and they were fucking wrong, and nobody came to me and asked me what happened since I was the fucking in the middle of this shit. So that's what I'm saying.
So when you say this is where I have a question. Okay, so when you say I'm not going to go to your event because you're supporting that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for me, I would never go to an Arnold's until everybody's paid,
right?
But I still would have went to the December 6th event that was an Arnold qualifier because my buddy was putting it on, and I wanted to support also like Bo Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a catch-22 for me. Like I still would go to an event. Obviously, I just wouldn't go to where the event qualified me for. Like for say, I would have went to Ryan Johnson's event because it was for Bo Olsen and this, but it still was a Arnold qualifier. And I don't support Arnold's until they pay people all their money. But I still would have went to that event. You know what I'm saying? I've said this to you many times. The only person that can answer all these questions is Greg. And
right, but he won't.
Whether he made a business decision for his business, just like A organization makes a business decision and B makes their, controversies on you're doing this to this. He made a business decision. He stuck by it. He changed it when he wanted to change it. And I think he's the only one that can answer these questions because he made a rational business decision that he felt was best for him at the time.
I couldn't find popcorn. I was looking for it.
But here's the thing, Tim. You also throw more than one event. I've gone to Washington State. I'm coming to Arizona State, but that's separate from a WSA qualifier. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like I'm still supporting you because I'm still coming to your events.
So if Arizona State this year ends up being a WSA qualifier, are you still coming? Are you not going to come because it's a qualifier, which it won't have no meaning. Not that it has no meaning on my event, but it's still Arizona State Championships. If you happen to come to it, you can go to that event.
I will probably not show up because I told myself, because there's a lot that was stung to me, and my wife will tell you more about it too. It's just I get too pissed off. Like Greg did our family dirty in this sense, and I told, and we sat there and talked about it in depth. We will not support any event.
You need to just reach out and finish the hash with him because there's still undone things on each side, and I think you just need to finish it out with him. I think that whether he answers you back or not, just say, hey, send him a text. Can we please have a conversation? I got to just get some things off my chest and then finish the hash with him and go from there.
Exactly. I mean, you know what? I actually did something that y'all might be proud of me that a lot of people don't know.
You told me.
Yeah. I actually reached out to him and said, Merry Christmas, Greg, because life is too short, right? And he said, yeah, I hope you and your family have a good holiday. Now, one of these days, the planets may align and we'll have a sit down chat and talk this thing out. But because of the shit he's done to me, there's probably no coming back from. But at the same time, I would never tell nobody not to go to a WSA event. I won't do that because I don't want, I am worried though that I don't want my friends go through the same thing I went through is where I'm getting at. But I will never say that, so yeah, go do your thing. Everybody has their favorite promoters, their favorite tournaments to go to, but anything revolving around WSA, I will not attend. So Tim, if you have I think you had two tournaments in Arizona this year, by the way. One was entertainment, Armed Sports Entertainment. The other one was a WSA qualifier. I would not go there.
They're both Armed Sports Entertainment.
Yeah, but one has the actual WSA logo. That's my point. I will never go to an event.
It didn't have a WSA logo.
What's that? It was a qualifier.
Yeah, but
it was a qualifier to the finals.
I had my own flyer.
Yeah, but guess what? The following day, WSA came up with their flyer. Same day, same location, same venue. Not doing it.
I'm just saying, I would look at it different if it's an event you want to go to for a different cause. Just because whoever comes to it can go to that event doesn't mean that whole event is only a qualifier, is what I'm trying to say. Just like the Bo Olsen one, right? That was mainly Bo Olsen. But if you happen to take top two, you're allowed to go to Arnold's. It wasn't an Arnold's event. It was a Ryan Johnston event for Bo Olsen. And if you happen to take top two, you're allowed to go to Arnold's. It wasn't based around Arnold's, just like mine wasn't based around WSA. It was based around My Fit Expo. And if you happen to show up, you can go.
There's the $1 million question, like it would go a long way if Greg came out and apologized and had officially stated that he made a mistake and overreacted and never officially said he was dropping the ban. He just dropped it. That's the problem. He won't come out and say it. He had Don kind of tap dance around on Matt Conley's show earlier this year. But again, why isn't he coming out saying something? Hell, why isn't Chris from Knuckles Up coming out and saying nothing? This is the fucking issue. When you got these promoters that fuck up and piss off athletes, and then instead of saying, hey, I'm going to take the bullet, throw darts at me because I fucked up, they just kind of just Homer Simpson in the bushes fucking meme. Bullshit.
you got to understand, one's not paying people, and the other one's telling people they can't come to his events only. So, to my eyes, they're two completely different scenarios.
No, they are, but they need to be addressed by those people.
But one needs to be addressed because it's money owed to people. The other one is allowed to make his business decision for his organization however he feels, because it's not about owing people money. So, in my opinion, Greg made a business decision for his organization, and he's allowed to do whatever he wants because it's his organization. The other one wasn't a business decision. He just straight up owes people money. So in my opinion, they're completely different.
Yep.
Now, whether people say that Greg needs to come out and publicly do anything, he doesn't have to. It's his organization. He can do, frankly, whatever the fuck he wants. And that's now if Greg had the finals and owed people thousands of dollars and didn't pay him, yeah, okay, now we're talking different, right? Now, yeah, you need to come out and tell everybody what the fuck. But other than that, whether Jody, I've told you this many times, whether what he did to you, you need to address that with him. You don't need to come out and publicly acknowledge what happened with you and him, because that's between you and him, and that doesn't need to be publicly to anything, in my opinion.
The reason why I do that, Tim, is because there's been shit going on and with my name, and the stories are not even fucking remotely true. That's why I have to defend myself and my name when stories come out that are not true. Anybody, if your name
100%, but he doesn't mean he needs to come out and say anything, is what I'm saying.
About me, no, but about the way he did things to a lot of athletes, yes, he does. Me included. My situation is a little bit more, there's more layers to that, but on the surface.
I'll just go with the Paul Cruz. Obviously, him and Paul Cruz talked about it because Paul Cruz is on the house. So it's not like he's not reaching out to certain people and talking to them. So maybe y'all just, like I said, you do need to talk.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be anywhere else.
Oh, okay. I mean, and maybe we'll disagree on that, but my whole purpose is that when you take a step back and go, hold the phone, you banned me, and I can't be a part of the house because I participated in this event, but yet the other person who is a part of the house did the exact same fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Am I not supposed to be upset or mad?
Of course.
That's all I'm saying.
But obviously, that said individual already talked to Greg, and they figured it out.
Well, then he's a hypocrite. Oh, look at this. Check this out. There you go. Paul Cruz had a heads up of the situation because it's happened with Jody first. So that story I know about because when Paul Cruz heard about it, Paul Cruz told Greg, hey, I'll love to be on your show, but guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do these events that I've been scheduled for. And what happened? He did it, and there you go. What's good for the goose is good for the gander is what they say, right? Okay, that's cool. But you know what, though? I'm going to lower my tone for a minute because I'm starting to get hot up in here. So with that being said, I went through a whole year being that. It was cool, fine, whatever. But going into 2026, new outlook, right? New outlook. And that's what it's going to be. So I know I rambled on and on about that. It got a little emotional for a second. I was getting a little heated. But now, and that happened back in March. But it lingered on throughout the calendar year. But yes, I did reach out to Greg on Christmas Day and said, hey, man, Merry Christmas, because I really don't want to be carrying this shit to the following year. And he said, I hope you and your family have a good Christmas. There you go. To answer a comment earlier about what if Greg supported LOD. Well, here's the problem. Up until that point, he did like everything. We still post LOD in the summer. He doesn't like it no more. So there's your answer right there. There it is. He would also, before that, our big clash, he would put out a flyer. Hey, support Jody's, LOD. Doesn't do that shit no more because of our big blow up. Because he felt a certain way about something he thought I had a hand in, I didn't. But I want to get off that because I'm going to punch this fucking laptop screen if I keep talking about it.
Hey,
so
yeah, well, shut up then.
How can we end on a good note with arm wrestling?
Well, the good note is
let's all say one good thing that happened this year with arm wrestling.
Jeez,
let me go first. Let me go first. I'll go first. Yeah. Do you mind? I think, even though Ryan's not on the show, but I'm gonna speak for him too. The four of us, even though sometimes we don't always agree on things, we respect one another. and I'm hoping some of the powers that be in different federations see us. No, we don't always agree on that. Whether it be IFA, WAF, we don't always agree, but we respect one another. Tim goes to Worlds. What happened? Tim, let me know how you did. Get there safe. I respect Tim enough. We've been friends for as much as long as I've been in this sport for 16 years. There may be topics that we don't agree upon, but I still respect the guy. Hey, man, have a safe flight. I was working graveyard during those times at WAF. I'm up here watching your matches. I'm saying, hey, let me know how you did and stuff. Oh, hey, you should have did this instead, but I'm supporting you. I'm watching you. Same thing with Nathan. We may not see eye to eye on different things, but I support everything you do. I respect you. Same thing with Ryan. And I hope people can understand that. I'm going to try to be a better person next year. I will.
Can we address that Ryan looks like he looks like the old SP looks like the person that ate the new SP?
Right.
He looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks great.
I'll piggyback off of that, Jody. I feel the same way. We got people on here that have different views. They go with set A organization. Some of us go with set B. But that's what allows us to come together and have these great conversations and see different points of view. And, go like for all of us, there's certain places that, I'll speak for myself that I may still go see certain people at events that did me dirty. Mm-hmm. And I still go for that promoter and still work with them on stage hand in hand and say, hi, how you doing? Even though I don't like them, I don't agree with what they do, but I'm still cordial at events. And then we go our separate ways afterwards. And that's just, I'd like to see in 2026, more people do that. More people support the promoters in North America that support you and are out there just running events and they're not really promoters. So I'd like to see, bigger tournaments where they're deserved and where they've been going. And in 2026, whatever fits you, if it's A, B, or C, just do you.
I did all that.
As Mr. Oliver just said, he quoted the great Jackie Moon, ELE. Everybody love everybody.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
No, I think this year as a whole, there's been a growth, I think, in a lot of people, which is not a bad thing. I'm intrigued to see what 26 has. We have I think a lot of things are looking up for 26. So yeah, I think the future is bright. We just gotta see things glass half full, not glass half empty, honestly.
Well, I see big things for you two going into 2026. Wow. I'm not going to elaborate that because we've talked about that in our personal chats. But I see big things for Tim. I see big things for Nathan, and I'm gonna just let that be. And I can't wait to see how that all unfolds. And I'm happy for it. So,
ow, my elbow.
I wish I could do that.
What?
Anything pop my elbow or anything straighten my arm halfway straight.
You know what it's called? It's called maintaining flexibility. It's important, sir.
Yeah, I haven't had that in 20 years, Nathan.
Well, you can get it back.
So everybody, thanks for watching the show because it was sponsored by Dove Shea Butter.
Apparently Dove Soap came on board for this one. When the hell do we get our royalty check?
It only took me 12 months to have my first soapbox.
I know.
Oh, man. I think this is probably one of the emotional. Everybody got involved at some point and just got, it was good because now I feel better.
I didn't have a soapbox.
No, you didn't have one. You could just sat back there.
I was safe.
Yeah.
I could just see right now if Ryan was on this today, he would have just been sitting there like this.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here. I'm over here.
Keeping his mouth shut, just swaying back and forth.
Apparently, I don't have any popcorn in the house.
With this small little fucking head and this small little body.
Oh yeah. So, with that being said, round robin. I got 3 ladies on tonight. Check us out. 3:30 West Coast time, 6:30 East Coast time. I'll have 3 ladies on. They'll be a part of the round robin in Canada. coming up in April. So be sure to check that out on my channel tonight
Yeah.
or this afternoon, whatever.
Tune in to support, damn it.
Yeah, support each other.
I'll even end it with a little quote from our good friend Coach Ray. Everybody in the chat, stay strong and love arm wrestling.
Love arm wrestling.
Yes, yes. Gentlemen, I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I'm looking forward to the new year. So
Peace.